Some groups are built through auditions, some are built through business, while others are built through blood. Before the spotlight, before the records, before the stage lights, there was a family in Camden, New Jersey. A talented group of siblings who would come together to create something special. A sound that was built on harmony, soul, rhythm, and family chemistry that cannot be taught. To some, they was an underrated R&B group. To others, they are one of soul's music's best kept secrets. This is the story of the Sibling group from Camden whose music still deserves to be heard. The centerpiece of today's video is all about Ingram. Now before we start, let's be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and push that notification bell to be sure you won't miss out on any more uploads. Now without further ado, let's cue that intro. Before national recognition, before radio play, there was Camden, located just across from Philadelphia. Camden carried its own rich musical energy. The city was filled with culture, creativity, and resilience. Music was everywhere: churches, family gatherings, neighborhood events, and local talent shows. For the Ingram family, music wasn't just entertainment, it was part of everyday life. Growing up in this environment shaped the siblings in profound ways. Their earliest influence came from gospel, soul, funk, and the sounds pouring out of nearby Philadelphia. The sound of Philadelphia had a major impact. So did the classic soul from Detroit and Southern R&B. These influences will shape their musical identity. One thing that made the group unique from the start, they wasn't just talented musicians, they were siblings. That family bond created chemistry that most groups spend years trying to develop. Their harmonies felt natural, and their musical connection ran deep. Because they grew up with each other, they understood each other's strengths. They knew how to blend voices, how to create grooves, and how to make the music feel effortless. The chemistry became one of their greatest strengths. The group consisted of Norman, James, Barbara, Billy, John, Timmy, Francis, Edith, and Virginia. As the siblings matured, they began developing a sound that felt fresh, yet familiar. They blended multiple influences with soul, funk, R&B, disco, and quiet storm. Their sound was smooth, polished, and groove-driven, yet emotionally rich. They understood how to create records with both rhythm and feeling. This versatility allowed them to connect with different audiences. Dance music fans appreciate the grooves, soul fans appreciate the vocals, and R&B listeners appreciated the emotion. Their passion of music is gospel-based and stems from their father, who was a clergyman who had a radio show on Philadelphia's WIMR. They formed the Ecstasies, with the exception of Norman, who was chasing a dream of being a professional basketball player. He also worked on many solo projects before joining his siblings. Barbara did background vocals on Sigma Sound Studios in the early 70s, primarily for Tom Bell and Gamble and Huff songs, although practically every producer in town used her at some point. Jimmy pumped out 5 singles between the years of 1973 to 1975 on all platinum and mainstream records. After an accident that ended his basketball dreams, Norman learned how to play the bass, and he assembled his siblings into the 9-strong Ingram Kingdom. Totally self-taught, Norman purchased some recording equipment and cut the singles "The Funk Is in Our Music" in 1976.
Funky music is no accident.
Breaking into the music industry has never been easy. Talent alone rarely guarantees success. The competition was intense, especially during an era filled with extraordinary groups and legendary artists. But the siblings had something special. Industry insiders recognized their talent. The group slowly built momentum, performance by performance, song by song, opportunity by opportunity. Their hard work began to open up doors. They got a deal with XLO Records, a label that was noted for blues more than rhythm and blues, and surely not the funk and soul vibes that the group put down. But still, they sold 25,000 copies in the Camden and Philadelphia area. As the group released music, listeners began noticing something unique. Their records had polish, musicianship, and sincerity. They wasn't trying to imitate anyone. They had their own identity. Their songs reflected the strength of classic souls while embracing modern R&B production. That balance helped them stand out. Fans appreciated the authenticity, and slowly their audience grew. One reason the Siblings earned respect among serious music fans was their musicianship. They understood arrangements, vocals, grooves, dynamics, and musical storytelling. This wasn't just a group with catchy songs. This was a group with skill. Their music reflected discipline and craftsmanship. That level of musicianship separated them from their peers. All of this success led them to signing a deal with H&L Records in 1977, which resulted into a second album, That's All. This album achieved its greatest popularity in the United Kingdom. Some of the popular songs off of this album was Get Your Stuff Off and Stylin' Profilin'. After their second album, the label H&L went bankrupt, and they still owned the group's name, which resulted in a long and active period for them. During this time, Norman started producing for other artists, including Philly Cream, Barbara Mason, The Stylistics, Blue Magic, David Simmons, Brandy Wells, and Ronnie Dyson. This is where many musical fans ask an important question. Why didn't Ingram become bigger? Why they're not mentioned alongside other major R&B groups? The answer isn't simple. The music industry is very unpredictable. Sometimes incredible talent doesn't receive the spotlight it deserves. Timing matters, promotion matters, the label support matters, and sometimes great artists simply become underrated gems. Ingram became one of those groups that was respected and admired, but often overlooked by mainstream history. In 1983, Ingram resurfaced for one last shot, releasing 2 albums. Would You Like to Fly, that was released in 1983, and Night Stalkers, that was released in 1985. The popular singles at this point was Just For You, Smooth and Groovin', and DJ's Delight. A string of hits wasn't in the cards for this talented family. They wrote their own material, recorded it, and set up family production companies to publish their works. Jimmy resurfaced as a producer for the Sweethearts, while John cut a solo single titled Can I Take You Home Tonight? Barbara, she still lived in Philadelphia studios, and Norman, who tinkered with his own labels including Society Hill Records, eventually returned to his first love, basketball, but this time as an assistant coach for Camden County College. One of his major songs that he wrote, Another Man by Barbara Mason. This song was also sampled by the late Notorious B.I.G. for his song Another.
While you were sleeping, hit you on the box, 69 cold non-stop. Should've left you then, but my heart said.
Ingram's story is also a story about Camden, New Jersey. Their success represented pride for their city. They proved that great talent can come from anywhere. Big cities don't own greatness. Small communities produce legends as well. Camden played a huge major role in shaping their identity. Their music carried the spirits of resilience and soul rooted in their city. Although the group may not always receive mainstream recognition, their music continues to resonate. Collectors appreciate their records. Soul fans celebrate their catalog. And R&B lovers continue to discover their music. And that matters because real music lasts. One of the beautiful things about music history is rediscovery. New generations constantly uncover overlooked gems. Groups once forgotten about are appreciated once again, and Ingram fits perfectly into that conversation. Now, before we go, I have a question for you all. What is your favorite song by Ingram? While I have y'all here, if you would like to support the channel further, then feel free to become a member. By doing so, you help make these videos possible. I thank each and every one of you who supported me along this journey.